It's election night in Rockwall County, Texas, and the nation. So is it going to be a red wave, tsunami, or what? Well, we'll talk a little bit about that tonight. It's time for some straight talk. I'm Bunker Bob Steinhagen, and this is The Bunker Bob Show. Yes, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is great to be with you today, and I am so glad that you joined me tonight for this very special edition of the Bunker Bob Show. We're going to be focusing on the election. We're going to be focusing specifically on Rockwall County. Obviously, that's where I broadcast from, and including a few other races as well. But every one of the races that I'm going to be talking about tonight will affect Rockwall County. It will affect Texas, and the election results are important for a lot of reasons, and some great news is going on tonight as we talk through the election results. I'm going to have a couple of special guests, probably expect to have Senator Bob Hall, who is expected to win big time tonight, and hopefully Congressman Fallon can chime in as well. So I'll be watching for his call in as we move forward. Well, today was a very lot going on today in Rockwall County and throughout Texas, throughout the nation. And yeah, if you had the chance to vote today, then you had the opportunity to see what I saw, and that was you saw a lot of the signs here. This is in Rockwall County. The signs were all about Republicans for sure, and there was a good line at this is from the Rockwall County Library, and where there was a lot of people showing up to vote. What I've been told by many of the and hold on just a second. I think we are getting Senator Hall in, and all right. Well, we can now see you, Senator Hall. Thank you for being with me today.
Oh, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it very much. Exciting night here.
It is an exciting night. How are you feeling about as the results ironically trickle in? How are you feeling about what you're seeing?
I am feeling pretty good about what I'm seeing so far. This was such an important night, not just for us here in Texas, but for our nation. We've got an out of control federal government because of the imbalance that we have up there, and people are suffering from the woke policies that Biden and the Democrats have imposed on us. The only way we're going to stop that is by taking the majority in the Senate and the majority in the Congress to stop what they're doing, so we can hold on for the next few years and then get us a president that will actually start rebuilding America, to rebuild what Obama has destroyed. Biden, it's hard to tell. The only difference is that Biden, I never thought I'd find a president worse than what Obama was, but Biden certainly has done that. I mean, with his announcement this week that there going to be no more approval for new drilling, that'll be disastrous for our country. I hope somebody will step up pretty soon and walk that statement back.
Yeah, it is funny. Fox News was asking, who let him out of his cage today, where he said that stupid remark.
Yes.
I think it's the difference between, I really do think it's the difference between Republicans and Democrats, and it's the difference between, frankly, conservatives and Democrats and liberals, because when conservatives say things, they actually mean them. But a lot of, especially the career politicians today, they look at that whatever they say, people really don't hear, and so words don't mean much to them.
No, they don't, and what they say is so off the wall. They've moved so woke.
Yeah.
It's hard hard for the average person to even comprehend what they're talking about. In the program they've got, trying to make sense of the green energy program, this craziness they've got of wanting to convert all of our automobiles to electric vehicles and have all electricity generated by wind and solar. I read an analysis 2 weeks ago that pointed out that if we were to do that here in Texas, we do not, the largest of the continental states, we do not square foot to put up the windmills and solar panels to meet that demand. We wouldn't even need a small fraction.
Yeah.
Yet they're proceeding as though that is absolutely where they're going to go. So it was very important across the nation that we get enough congressmen, enough senators, what they're doing, so that we can hold on to the next presidential election and get things turned back around again. And here in Texas, it was so important that we hold on. The woke ideas of Beto just certainly did not resonate.
I'm sorry. Hold on one second. You said, who did you say? Are you talking about Robert Francis O'Rourke?
Yeah, Robert Francis O'Rourke.
Okay. I don't know Beto. I don't know anyone named Beto.
But it looks like the people have loudly spoken, and I know the races aren't over, but we actually have right now a couple of state Senate races that are in play. Very possibility. One down in the Valley, Senator Eddie Lucio, who retired this last session, has a Republican, young Republican down there by the name of Adam Hinojosa, really sharp young man that's a true Republican, has a reasonable chance, or he did earlier. I haven't looked at the latest numbers, but that's a real possibility.
What district is that? Do you know what district that is off the top of your head?
No, I do not.
It's hard to keep up with these, yeah.
Yeah, but his name is
Adam Hinojosa. And, it's interesting. One of the things I'm doing right now is I'm doing a kind of a series on the different political parties. And, of course, I'm comparing the Green Party, Democrat, Libertarian, and Republicans. And it is amazing what the Green Party is proposing. But really, when you look at the Democrat and Green Party side by side, there's not much difference.
No, not on those particular issues. They are in lockstep. And there, of course, the Democrats go off the deep end with their gender modification programs that they've got going, what they want to do with the wild, very gross sex education in our classrooms, and generally the dumbing down of our classrooms with the federal programs in education. We will not survive another administration. So we have got to take this back this next session. Hold the line with this one and take it back in 2 years.
Well, I guess you haven't heard, but according to the mainstream media and of course many Democrats, democracy will be over as of tomorrow if this red wave continues. So I guess we have something to look forward to now, don't we?
Well, I guess we do, but somebody needs to clue them in that we are not a democracy. That is what the Soviet Union, they have a democracy.
Yes.
We have a constitutional republic.
That's right.
We have a representative government.
Yes.
And it just tickles me every time I hear those wokes wailing and moaning that it's going to be the end of democracy. I'm saying, yeah, man, it sure is. Thank goodness that it's going to be the end of democracy. Because we don't want that. We have got a constitutional republic. Mob rule does not work.
Oh, it doesn't. You're right. Absolutely. Well, ironically, you've got an opponent that is the head of the part of the Black Lives Matter group in Rockwall, and it is shocking to me when I look at the numbers from Rockwall County, for instance, that you actually have people who are actually voting for this guy, and it has really nothing to do with that candidate. It has everything to do with the D or the R that's in front of the name. And I think what's so refreshing about the Republican Party, especially over the last several years, is we have a very deep bench of great conservatives. And the way I define conservative now is if is a person who is in lockstep with the Republican platform of Texas, because I think our platform is probably the most conservative that it's ever been, and probably the most conservative in the United States. So it is a little refreshing not just to have you as our senator who's a Republican, but also a Republican who is so committed to conservatism, to limited government, to ensuring and protecting individual liberty. I think among all of the state senators, you are the one who is most often quoted as the person who really leads that fight. And so I'm looking forward to having you back for another 4 years.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. No, that's what I felt I've been led to do, is keep our government where it was originally intended to be, a very limited role in our lives, not our Lord and Masters, not in control of what everything people say, do, or think about. And so it's a fight, because it's unfortunate that most people get into government, all of a sudden get this power surge that comes on them, and the government's job is to fix every problem by controlling what people are doing. So thank goodness I've got some other folks down there in Austin with me who think similarly, and hopefully we'll have this so that we keep government reined, keep it where we need it. Just barely enough government to do what we need to have done that people can't do for themselves.
Yes. Yes, well, that's absolutely right. Well, I would say congratulations to you, Senator, for another victory, but this is really not a win for you. It's a win for the people of this 2nd District of Texas, and I'm just honored that you come on the show and that you represent us so well. I hope you have a great evening, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Well, thank you very much. I just feel very blessed that to live in a district with people that of like mind, that are willing to step up and do what it takes to turn this country around, this state around, and bring it back to being the Christian nation that our founding fathers intended for it to be. Because this form of government we have is a good one, but it doesn't work unless we have the right people. Otherwise, it's going to fall apart.
Amen to that.
Very honored to be with some like-minded folks here to represent. And thank you for having me on. I look forward to being back on the show.
Bless you, Senator. Have a great night. Thanks again.
You too. God bless you.
All right. Bless you. Well, that, of course, is State Senator Bob Hall, one of the great true conservatives of the state of Texas, and we're always glad to have him on our show, and glad to have him back in the state Senate. You have no idea how important it is to actually have a conservative in the state Senate. It is not the norm. It is an unfortunate rarity to have someone like Senator Hall. The thing that is most unique about Senator Hall, and you know, I have no problem, and this is the starboard for me, and these are the people that I support, that I think are standouts in our government. Bob Hall has been on this wall ever since I've started this show, pretty much. Well, not exactly when I started the show, because I had to call their office and say, hey, I need a sign, and John Vick, his district director, is so good and is always so responsive to get me anything I need, and so it's great to have him. But I got to tell you, if you have no idea, if you don't pay attention to politics and you don't watch the things that I watch, and Adrian Balcom, my show producer, who watches social media like a hawk, the things that people say and the way they attack Senator Hall is just really outrageous. We were talking at CPAC. This is another thing about Senator Hall. He's not someone who just kind of sits around and goes home and just comes in to vote. No, he's active. He is at the state party. But before I want to talk about the state party, convention in a second about him. But at CPAC, we were talking, and he was asking me if I would ever run for office again, and I said no. I have no desire to ever do that again, because, and I said, Senator, you get attacked so mercilessly. How on earth do you do it, and how do you stand up to it? And he basically said, he's guided by a compass, and that compass is found in the Bible. He is guided by his faith in Jesus Christ. I am too, but I just don't seem to have the same kind of thick skin that he does. And thank goodness we have people like that, because when people attack you unfairly, that when they present misinformation and disinformation, therein lies the problem with our nation right there, and why people, good people, people who probably would be great in public office, will never run for public office, because it is such a difficult thing to endure. I can't imagine. I mean, what Senator Hall has to deal with is I guess a fraction of what President Trump had to deal with, and I think he was the one who highlighted that fact that as bad as it is, or for him, it's not anywhere near what President Trump had to deal with. Well, so as I also went, as I said, I went around the district a little bit today, and this is the line that people were waiting to vote all throughout the Rockwall County. The same story was heard over and over and over again, and that is that the polls were really packed early in the morning. Most of the polls throughout Rockwall County, throughout Texas, had long lines waiting to get in to vote. So voter turnout was heavy. I didn't finish my story on Bob Hall. I do want to say one more thing. Senator Hall is he and this other knucklehead, and I say that with absolute affection, because anyone who would sit in public office and take the heat that he does, Brian Slayton, who is going to win again tonight, big, and I'll highlight that in a moment. I'm going to highlight some races in a moment, but he and Brian Slayton, Bob Hall and Brian Slayton, those are the two people whose presence was at the state Republican convention, Texas State Republican Convention. These two guys were there for the platform committee, legislative priority committee meetings. They were there, not just observing, but participating and helping guide these committees. You know what other senator and state representative was there? Think about it. That's it. And I'm not being hyperbolic about this. I'm saying, yes, there were a couple of senators and state reps that would pop in maybe a day or two, but we're talking about the week before the convention. Bob Hall, Brian Slayton are there, and they represent the good people of Texas, and thank goodness Bob Hall is my state senator. I'm going to say Justin Holland is going to win tonight, and I'm glad of it. I supported Justin Holland when he won, after he won the primary, and gave him my full endorsement, as every Republican should. And I was very pleased to vote for him, and I'm glad to see him victorious tonight. And so I'm going to go through some of the races with you and kind of show you what's happened and where we are. So let me get over here to this computer and kind of guide you, and you can kind of see kind of what I'm looking at as we go through it. And so I want to focus first on Rockwall County. Now, Rockwall County is 100% in for Rockwall County. So Rep Pat Fallon is in Rockwall County has taken the district handily, as has Greg Abbott. And notice if you'll notice the number of of votes. For Pat Fallon, 30,335, and 30,157 for Abbott. So that's a number to take in mind. That's the entire county that voted for those two. And then you have individuals who voted for the Democrats. Now, as I was talking with Senator Hall just moments ago, there's reasons why people get votes during election day, and most of the time it has nothing to do with the candidate. You can just throw your name on a ballot and you can get votes, and I think that's not necessarily the case for Robert Francis O'Rourke, who also, for some reason, calls himself Beto. Still haven't figured out why an Irishman wants to be called Beto in a heavily Hispanic state like Texas. I mean, that would be, to me, the most condescending thing that anyone could ever do. But certainly, I haven't. If somebody has an idea why Robert Francis O'Rourke, the Irishman, would want to call himself Beto, please let me know, because I'm really kind of at a loss. I'm sure you are as well. Most viewers are as well. It makes no sense. So we looked at Greg Abbott, state senator. There we are, the great Bob Hall, 31,000 votes against in Rockwall against one of the Black Lives Matter organizers for Rockwall County, Prince Guiadalor, a guy who's really done nothing with his life, and except I think he worked for Senator Royce West. Now, if you want to know how liberal someone is, and they say they worked for Royce West, that's what you call a liberal. That's what you call someone who has few standards and believes that government is the answer to all of our problems. So that's that race. And then Justin Holland, as I said, congratulations to him. Rockwall County came out big. And again, look, 30,972, pretty much. Bob Hall, 31,027 in Rockwall. The Republicans showed up in Rockwall County for sure. Now we have county judge, but I don't want to start there. I want to start kind of toward the back, and that's County Commissioner Precinct 4. This is John Stacy, and John Stacy is a guy that surprised a lot of people. Because of what he did to win the race, and I got a chance really today to be with him and talk to him just briefly, and so I'll let you enjoy learning and seeing or meeting him. And let's see, there we go. And so I found him out at the Fate City Hall. And he was if you'll notice, his opponent was not there. His opponent was actually at the Rockwall County Library. Well, I had the chance to talk to him for a minute, and here's what he said that I
ran because I didn't like the direction the Rockwall County was going. I beat an incumbent. Frank New beat an incumbent.
Yes.
And then Dana's coming in where Lee Gilbert is, I guess, retiring or stepping down. So I think the three of us are going to bring new energy and new life. We all have different ideas, but fresh ideas to Rockwall County. So I'm super excited to get started. I ran on low taxes, managing growth, and experience, and I think that's what I'm going to bring to the table when today is through.
What would you like to say to the people of Rockwall County now that the election's over?
Now that the election's over, I just want to say thank you for everyone that supported me. It is in the middle of the day, so I'm cautiously optimistic on the results based upon early voting turnout and the fact that they're out the door at Fate City Hall all day long. I think a red wave is coming. I think we're ready to send a message that conservative values are important, and we're going to stand up and defend our county because we want to keep conservative leadership in place.
Yes, and that is a great new county commissioner. For certainly he is going to be one of those who is going to represent those of you in the fourth precinct of Rockwall County. John, really, not a lot of people gave him a chance. Had him here on the show, both he and the incumbent, Janet Nickel. And he really shone through. You got a sense of what he believed, why he believed it, why he was running, and what his vision was. And Rockwall County is going to be well served with John Stacey on the County Commissioner's Court. I'm excited about that, and I think everyone should be. So that's Precinct 4, but Precinct 2, that is Dana Macklick, has defeated Scott Johnson, a Democrat, and there were actually almost 3,000 people who actually voted for Scott Johnson. I don't know why, but I will tell you this. Dana ran one great campaign. She really worked hard, and like John, I had the opportunity to just spend a little bit of time with her at the polls, and so let you hear from her.
What would you like to say to the people who have come out? I mean, there are a lot of people who have come out for you, and they're supporting you. What would you like to say to them?
You know, I want to say thank you, because this has been a group effort, and it has not been a one-person show. This has been a group effort, and I could not have done this without all of my supporters. And it has been over a year long, and I am so thankful, and I'm looking forward to a victorious celebration tonight.
Will you actually get some, maybe take a little extra, a few hours of sleep tomorrow?
Most likely.
All right, well, thank you so much, and look forward to tonight.
Thank you very much.
Well, good. And tonight she looks like she is going to be the next county commissioner for Precinct 2. I am really excited about this, to start getting rid of the good old boy network, bring in people who have fresh ideas, but more importantly, who are focused and that actually care about transparent government. The backroom deals that the county commissioners have been involved in for so many years is soon to be over, and that will take place with John Stacey and Dana Macklick. But no race, I think, is more important when it comes to transparency and government than the county judge race. And that, of course, we're going to get a new county judge, and it happens to be Frank New, a guy who really has set himself apart. Again, like Dana, like John, really worked hard on this campaign. And I do want to say that both Dana and Frank New, they were at the polling locations, and I think John Stacey as well. Frank and Dana, they were both at the county library, and John Stacey, he focused on the polling location at Fate City Hall, which is where most of the Precinct 4 voters do vote, and so he was focusing on his voters and did a great job. They were there every day, and I asked them, I said, well, yeah, exception of yesterday, I guess the weather was pretty good, and they said, no, it wasn't. In fact, they gave me some harrowing stories about what the week it kind of looked like for them. But why don't we hear from Judge-elect, Rockwall County Judge-elect Frank New.
People of Rockwall County, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you for being Rockwall County. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for showing up. That's the main thing. First step in any democracy is show up. Thank you for that. I appreciate it very much. I look forward to being your county judge. I look forward to serving you. And again, thank you.
So that is a great American right there, a great county judge, a man who is going to help Rockwall County to basically become a transparent county government. Frank New comes from the city of Heath City Council. And if you know anything about the city of Heath, you will know that that is one city council that takes seriously limited government. They take seriously city planning, and they do it in a way that is very thoughtful. And they have no problem standing up to developers. And I'll be probably doing a report and talking maybe even with members of council or the mayor, Kelsom Elam, about what's happening and transpiring right now. That is just unbelievable. If I'll just put it that way. We tried to do that with the city of McLennan Chisholm, but developers, the mayor and city council are bought and paid for. You have very liberal members of city council, an incredibly liberal mayor, Keith Short, and of course you have Rockwall, the Republicans in name only, Lorna Kippett and her husband, Marky Kippett, who are the biggest Republicans in name only, and probably the greatest threat to conservatism in Rockwall County. So it's a juxtaposition between Heath and McLennan Chisholm. These are two very different governments. Heath is so well run, so focused on managing finances, keeping taxes low. McLennan Chisholm is completely the opposite. They raised everyone's taxes in a tax rollback. The taxpayers revolted and voted a tax rollback, and successfully. And so the city of McLennan Chisholm, well, that's another story coming up, because the people of McLennan Chisholm need to wake up because of what's happening coming around the bend, and it's pretty serious. But so that's anyway. We've got Frank New, who is truly going to help our county become a transparent government. I look forward to having him, having Dana, having John on the show. I want to call him Commissioner-elect Stacy, Commissioner-elect Macklick, and County Judge-elect New. Great people, and they're working for you. And the good thing is, I'm here to help hold them accountable. As I've told Pat Fallon on my show, how many times? Every time he comes on the show, every time he sits here, we have a great time. But I always tell him, look, the moment you start going off the rails and stop adhering to and being a conservative and adhering to the platform that we all agree, we say we agree with, I'm going to be on you like a pit bull on a poodle. And he said, and he loves that kind of accountability. That's what a conservative is. Bob Hall, same thing. Frank New, Dana Macklick, and John Stacy. These are conservatives. They like accountability, and these are people, I think, who are not going to be perfect. There's no such thing. They will never be perfect. Anyone in office will never be perfect. But they are, if they're willing to be accountable, and if they're willing to face the music as it were, and if they're doing things in a way that is open and transparent, we're going to have good government in Rockwall County. So I want to kind of finish out looking at some of the other races as well, and I wanted to focus on. This is not the race I wanted to look at. This is, okay, State Senator Bob Hall. We are still, we still don't have the numbers in. See, it's even showing Rockwall County is not in. Let me refresh this and see if we can get some new numbers in here. Okay, so let's see if Rockwall is reporting. Yeah, so Rockwall's fully in. And so now we're seeing in Senator Hall's district, he is clearly way ahead, 138 to 71, and I expect, you've got Dallas County. That it's a big county, but it's not a huge part. Well, actually, it may be a bigger part than I thought. But the rural districts, I think Kaufman, Ellis County, that's going to be, in Collin County, they're all going to be solidly behind Senator Hall. And Dallas County, they don't know who this Gia Daylor guy is, so I don't think we're going to see too much movement on that. So I'm not too concerned on there. So U.S. Representative, yeah, that is what I want to look at. I want to look at, let's look at Pat Fallon. There we are. Okay, so I had just refreshed this. Let me refresh it one more time just to make sure we're looking at the latest numbers. Here where they come. And we're going to go to the fourth. All right, so we look at this, and Yeah, we're still not seeing. Let's look at the details. See where we are on that. Pull that back a little bit. So Bowie County should be okay for Fallon. Collins good. Delta is all in. Collins should be fine for Fallon. Denton should be fine for Fallon. Most of the other, there we go. There's Rockwall. Okay, Rockwall's in. So we really just have Hunt County, which is going to be solidly for Congressman Fallon, and yeah, that's about as official as you can get. Yeah, Pat Fallon has won this race, so he is going to stay in Washington, D.C. I know that Congressman Fallon, like all of them, are just happy to be for this election to be done. And I'm excited for them, and I'm excited for the people of Rockwall, for the people of Texas. We've got some great races. We're going to keep an eye out on this race that Senator Hall talked about on Adam Hinojosa, because clearly that's a race that'd be great to pick up some seats in the Senate. I'm doing a series on the different platforms from the Green Party. I'm comparing Green, Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, and Republican, and dealing with different issues. So I've dealt with the constitutional issues. I've dealt with the issues of business and commerce. And I'll be focusing on education and election integrity and things like that. So that if you've got friends who are not sure what they are, and they have a specific issue that's most important to them, maybe you can pass that along to them. I hope this has been helpful for you, and it was great to have Senator Hall on the show, and thank you to everyone who helped make this show possible. Look forward to seeing you next time, and until then, you have a very blessed night. God bless America, and God bless Texas.